Buckle up, excellence junkies, because this podcast is definitely for you. Welcome to Rocket Fuel. Do you wish that you could surround yourself with people that love to kick ass just like you? Well, come to my party, baby, and meet some of the brightest stars in the entrepreneurial galaxy, because it is my mission to give these entrepreneurs a platform to declare what they are on this planet to accomplish and to show you why they are rocket fuel. Yes!
I love it. I'm excited after that introduction. I'm ready to go. I mean, I have a rocket right behind me.
I know. You're set. We did not set this up, guys. We did not set this up. All right. So I just want to explain to any Rocketeer that is hopping in on this particular episode. This is really interesting. My question to you is, have you wondered what does it take to get an ad up on YouTube? I mean, you see people from like a stinking iPhone video that's an ad, and then you see people with like the high-end videos, and it seems something like that should be approachable but doesn't feel that way. If you are wondering about how to make YouTube ads part of your way of scaling your business, building your authority, and kind of like being in this century, then I am very, very excited to introduce you to Aleric Heck. He is the founder and the CEO of AdOutreach, but he is like the guy, the master of YouTube ad strategy for entrepreneurs. And I want to add, a really, really awesome guy. I first want to thank you, Aleric, for joining, but I'm going to ask you an interesting question. Why do you think I needed to say that you're a really, really good guy? Why do you think so many of your clients, and this is going to throw you off on purpose.
Yeah.
Why do you think so many of your clients and the people that work for you and your team, I mean, I've been around them all, and they're just like, I want to help this guy's message. He's a good guy. Tell me.
Well, oh man, I really appreciate that, Wanda. And honestly, I mean, first of all, I have an incredible team. It's not just about me. It's about like the team that we have is fantastic. The clients that we have, including yourself, are all fantastic. And so we're all on this mission together, like to create impact. It's kind of, I definitely resonated with your intro video, right? We're on a mission. We're on a rocket ship. I say that all the time. And we're here to create a ripple effect. And I think that, honestly, the reason that they're excited to work with me and my mission and vision is because we really are in full alignment of the impact that we want to create in the world. And what that is the ripple effect. And so when we help other people, because we work with people who are experts, they're authors, speakers, coaches, consultants, course creators, people who have something to share, value to provide, that can make other people's lives or businesses or health or whatever it happens to be better. And when we do that, when we help one person, and especially because we're helping them with marketing, we're helping them with ads, we're helping them with YouTube ads, omnipresent, whatever it happens to be, when we help that person, it creates a ripple effect that they go in and in turn impact other people who impact other people. And so it's one of the things I talk about. If you look at like a Newton's cradle, right? You pull back one side, you drop it, and you can see the energy go through. It's exactly true, because when you put good out into the world, when you put value out into the world, when you impact people, when you help people, when you over deliver, when you help people with their lives, businesses, health, whatever it happens to be, then you can create that ripple effect, not just on that person, but they in turn have their own, especially with us, right? We work with a lot of people that have clients. You do too, right? They have their own clients, they have their own impact. And then think about the people that they impact, their family, like the employees of these companies, or if it's not a business, then at least the people that are impacted. It's just so incredible to think about the impact and the ripple effect. And so while we're on a rocket ship, yes, it's not just about us. I call it the triangle of alignment. which creates success. Some people ask me, before, okay, what is, what's the secret to success? And I really think it is alignment and creating what I call, a win-win-win, and creating the most success for your clients, creating that ripple effect of impact, having success as a team. I refer to our team as that rocket ship. So having that success as a team, and then also becoming the best version of ourselves and being individually successful. Not just me, but that's all the members on our team, right? So if each of the individuals that make up our team, our collective team, and our clients are all seeing success, that right there, I mean, to quote the name of your podcast, that's rocket fuel right there.
Absolutely. So I appreciate that. And the reason I wanted to start with that because I know you and I resonated because, first of all, we can nerd out like big time.
Yeah.
We love talking about all this, right? But the connection too is that we do all of this to support other people with their impact, right? I like to say we're rocket fuel for people who are rocket fuel, right? So when you guys, my dear Rocketeers, when you're listening to this, the other thing is this guy, he talks like this all the time. He's not just on for the camera, all right? He is just so into it, and you're going to like overflood us with value, but I want people to receive the impact message. One, the fact that you're going to share all this information with us because you want to help people extend their impact. Two, as a Rocketeer, you are here listening because, first of all, you love learning about people that extend impact, and perhaps you want to extend your impact yourself. And so when we're talking about YouTube ads, this is why it's so critical for you to stop and think about how this tool, it's not just a tool, it's about your opportunity, and to be a little bit dramatic about it, in a way, your obligation to learn it if you want to extend your impact, because it's one of the greatest tools out there. So you tell me, Aleric, why do you feel it's so important for folks to learn about YouTube ads versus Facebook ads, other types of advertising methods?
So, and that's a great question. And the best way I can describe this and why YouTube is so valuable is because you have the ability to actually reach the right person with the ability to invest that's actually looking for what you have at the right time with the right message, your video ad. And that is what's going to create and facilitate those connections. Because, I mean, I can't tell you how many times you've probably heard the exact same thing, because in a way, Wanda, you help people, get their message heard whether they're speaking on stage or on podcasts, and you have, your catchwords, and you're helping people spread their message. How often have you heard, I know I've heard this a lot, I know I can impact people. I can help people. My business can grow if only people knew I existed. Right? How often have you heard that all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's super common for people to say that. Maybe you're watching this right now. You're a Rocketeer watching this right now. You're saying, hey, I really want to get out there. And I know I have so many unique gifts and talents and services and solutions and coaching, whatever it is, to offer the world if only people knew it existed. But here's the problem with most platforms. Most platforms are not actually designed to get in front of the right people who actually need what you have. And they're not necessarily designed to deliver that video that allows you to present your ideas to people. And so think about Facebook, which is where most people are going. They're just scrolling to run ads, I mean to say, right? So people are just scrolling through, and then they happen to see an image, right? Again, that's not a video. Or they see a video that loads, but it doesn't start playing sound most of the time. And the problem with that video is it's interruption-based advertising. You could just be scrolling on your phone, doing whatever, but you're not actually looking for something. Same thing if you're scrolling on TikTok or on Instagram or even LinkedIn, right? You're scrolling, but you're not actively in what we call the learner's mindset. Now, I'm going to get to that in a second.
Woo!
The other problem is that on Google, if you're running Google ads, you're also not reaching people with a video. So you look something up, and yes, you reach people in the learner's mindset, but you don't reach them with a video that's going to actually share it. So the learner's mindset is people who are actively researching to solve a problem that they have. And that's what people are doing on YouTube. And so people are going on YouTube. And you think about, if you're watching this right now, like how often do you go on YouTube? You go on YouTube for two reasons. One is to be entertained. And the other, and this is the one we really care about, is to learn. And there's really no other platform other than maybe Google. But again, like I said, it's not the same experience that people are actively going to learn. YouTube is actually the second largest search engine after Google. But what's the difference between YouTube and Google? YouTube's returning results in video, and video is the best way to get your message across to people. There's a reason this podcast is on video right now, and I love doing video podcasts. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of audio only. Now, I totally, like, if you're listening to audio only.
If you're listening, it's okay.
That's awesome. I'm gonna say, I'm more talking about, like, I just love to see people, to connect with people, to watch. And again, this is not about the listeners. This is more about, the podcasts that are being made or the videos. There is this kind of experience to be able to see and hear someone at the same time that just elevates the overall experience. Again, I totally get it. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I was just on a flight. I was speaking at an event in Las Vegas, flying back. I was listening to podcasts. I wasn't watching it on a video. I totally get that. And if I'm walking outside, sometimes I'll listen to a podcast. But what I mean to say is the reason I love when podcasts are recorded is it gives that video version, right? So you can watch it on video too. And there's just that deeper connection you can have. When I have the opportunity to watch podcasts on video, I like to do it because I like to see people. I like to connect with them. And it's the same thing on your ads. You can develop this deeper relationship to someone if they're seeing you, right? It's the next best thing. And you said this before, Wanda, yourself, right? To speaking on stage, right? Yeah. Speaking on stage, seeing somebody, they're up there, they're talking. You really can't beat that for that direct connection you have with somebody. Yeah. I know I was just, on a stage in Las Vegas. I've spoken to not as many as you have, Wanda, of course, but I've spoken on a bunch of stages recently. And it's just such an amazing connection. But the problem is that's not infinitely scalable. It's something you should absolutely do. Yeah. But when you start to do either, two ways, either podcasts like this, and I know you talk a lot about that, or you start doing YouTube ads, because then you're getting in front of people. They can see you, they can hear you, and you can reach them when they're in the learner's mindset. So somebody's looking up how to scale their business, marketing, etc. I can get in front of them with my video and connect with them on a deeper level, provide value, and get them to take action from that video.
I'm just putting learner's mindset on there. That is like gold. Okay. It's absolutely, that's the decision maker right there. That's the decision maker right there. I feel like for anybody that is even considering, should I learn this? And if you're impact driven, then that's really, really important. But it's true. I mean, think about us scrolling through, and in a way, you kind of get it. You could potentially get annoyed because that's not what you're there for. But from the other perspective, what I wanted to ask you about was very often I find that, well, not very often, it's pretty essential. If a software is built for one purpose, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's best for another purpose, right? So for example, when I talk about my texting software, and I say, yeah, but it was built by a marketer. And so as a result, the way it collects data and everything that's around that it's structured is built to not only consider the marketer, but to consider the user, right? So Facebook wasn't built for that.
Yeah.
In the beginning, also, it was built for people to interact with socially. And so when you were talking about the ability to target, I don't find that that Facebook has the capability to target as well as YouTube. It seems like YouTube, from a structural perspective, already kind of had the capability to offer that. Is that a fair assessment?
Absolutely. And on YouTube, people are searching for things. Facebook, it's all algorithm driven. That's also why TikTok ads will not, outperform YouTube, even if CPMs are a little bit lower. So cost per 1,000 views is because you're not reaching people when they're looking for something specific. It is a totally different mindset, mindlessly scrolling, right? Or maybe you're even casually scrolling, right? And it's not like mindless. Maybe you do care about the Facebook post going through your feed, or you're paying attention to, the TikTok posts or whatever it is. But the problem is you're not actively searching for something. And so the algorithm has to guess when to show an ad to you, instead of having somebody who's looking up, they're looking up how to grow in marketing. Or, another example that I like to use is, let's say somebody's looking up, exercises or, what workouts to do. And then you're a personal trainer, or you have a training program, you can get in front of them with videos that appeal to that person the minute that they're looking that up. So you can reach them at the exact time, as opposed to on Facebook, if somebody's scrolling through and I pop up with an ad, or if the personal trainer pops up with an ad, you may or may not be interested at that moment. You might even be the right person. It's just at that moment, you could be scrolling, you could be in a different mindset. On YouTube, you don't have to target videos that are about entertainment. Just target the videos with the people that are in the learner's mindset. And then I also think, and this is something I don't usually get to talk about on podcasts, I think you're gonna resonate with this, Wanda, here is, I really also think the more I've got into, especially the impact side of it, and really think about that other side, I do also think that the way a platform is built also plays into it, in that, what's the purpose? Facebook, I feel, has really lost its way a little bit, in that I think that Facebook's main purpose right now is to extract maximum dollars, not just out of its users. So there's more ads, they're changing things. They changed users and then retention, and retention turns into users. So how long people are, retention time, like how long people are on the platform. I remember when Facebook changed their notifications. Do you remember this? Facebook changed their notifications. So if you click the little bell icon or whatever, and it drops down, they used to be nice, neat, and organized. I remember a few years ago, I could click the bell icon and had all my comments at the top, and then it had some of the other things. Like, I don't need to see all the different people that like the post, right? I can just see who's commented, a couple of things I care about, and then underneath, it's got all these likes. It used to be very organized, and I could go through my notifications, bam, clear them out really quick. And I get lots of notifications. So I might get like 100 notifications, but with the old way, I could look at the 20 that actually matter, the comments.
Yes.
Now they're all interspersed. So you click on notifications, it's like comment, like, somebody asked to join this group, somebody did this, somebody did that. They made the feature worse. Now, why would they do that? Right? And did you notice that too?
I did. So do tell.
Why would they do that? Well, Facebook, now this again is, I am 90% confident in what I'm about to say, but everything adds up. If you watch, some of these different, the social dilemma documentary, like these different, that you read different articles, things like that, that kind of talk about Facebook, where they talk about retention and how they fed the AI. There's articles that talk about this too. They taught Facebook how to increase the time people spend on Facebook. And so if this change, and they're constantly testing things, they're split testing like we do as marketers. So if their goal is increase the time, but not what's best for the user, and they're actually letting their algorithm loose, not focusing on the UI UX. So at some point, either a person or an algorithm, I almost guarantee, right, created this split test. Notifications nice and organized, super easy to use. Notifications all over the place. You kind of have to go through all of them, but it creates this annoying experience.
Yeah. And
they found that the annoying experience, whether it's a person or more likely an AI bot, right? That just, it was designed to set this up, that a human coded, but it went in here and it said, hey, do whatever is necessary to maximize retention on the site.
Yes.
To the expense of its users. So now you have a worse feature that gets users to stay on longer. Exact same thing with why certain incendiary posts on Facebook or things that are, designed to make you not feel as good get to the top of the feed or kind of invoke that, oh, I disagree with that. They show you just enough things to agree with and then disagree. And there's exposés that talk about this. And so if that's true, I've had this conversation. Let's go a layer deeper. If we establish that Facebook doesn't necessarily care about its users, usability, they care more about retention and then also money. So the ads that this shows up, but also Facebook has algorithms to maximize their earnings from advertisers. Unlike Google, right, where I can choose, I want to target these videos, I want to target this. Yes, there's an algorithm, but it's a little more clear. On Facebook, you're giving, okay, this type of person, here's the budget. They'll spend your budget and the algorithm works or it doesn't work. Well, there's more and more this different evidence. I talked to different people who run these Facebook ads, and there's this evidence that on Facebook, when you're running ads, different things like your website plays into how much you're spending. The things that are written on your site. People have found whether it's a webinar or it's a training or an email opt-in, basically they have these different elements within their algorithm that does not necessarily efficiently price based on the inventory you're buying, but kind of creates this algorithm to price based on, yes, what you're buying, but also who you are and all these other factors.
Right. And factors that you're kind of like, it feels mysterious.
Yes. And almost as if they're working against you, right? To extract maximum profit from their advertisers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's something to think about. And I'm not saying, by the way, obviously Google's a very profitable company as well. So
yes.
But if you look at how Google is setting itself up, what their mission is, right? To get in front of people with video, with search, to provide the most relevant, meaniful ads and videos and search
content, right? I mean, from the beginning, that's what that's the alignment. And just in case anybody's like, why are we talking about Google? Remember Google, YouTube.
Google, YouTube. Yes, Google
right?
and YouTube.
So YouTube is part of Google. So it makes sense that their primary objective from the beginning, and it's still aligned, is to help the user get in front of the content that they're looking at. So they look at all the things that we would look at as advertisers, right? They want to know, what kind of news or music or other videos from their entire inventory they should put in front of you based on your behavior. And what's incredible was, in working with you and your team, is being able to, first of all, you do it very well and very clearly, but being able to understand that we actually have a lot of power in our hands if you know how to use the tool, if you know how to use Google Ads well, if you know how to select your keywords and your audience profiles and the level of detail I didn't realize, although I had run Facebook ads and I was like, this is BS. I can't believe that I can't. The level of targeting was really, really just poor and like I said, it was like mysterious, and of course people are still successful at it. So it's not saying don't do it, but to not have a YouTube ad strategy as part of your armamentarium is kind of silly if you're prioritizing advertising at all.
Exactly.
Now, what about the person that's hasn't even gone into advertising and might feel kind of a little overwhelmed by, because if you have a lot of factors, that means you kind of have to monitor a lot of things, right? And it could feel overwhelming. What are your thoughts and suggestions around that?
Yeah. So what I want to give is 2 3-part frameworks that actually make it really simple to understand exactly what you need to do with your YouTube ads. And the first is what should be in your video. It's very simple. There's 3 components. We've worked with thousands of different businesses, generated over $200 million in revenue. And we've found that the script is this just 3-part script, and the targeting is 3-part targeting. So 3-part frameworks is the basic understanding that you need to have to know how and why a YouTube ad is successful. So with the ad itself, there's 3 components. The hook, right? That's the first part. Pulls people in. Educate is the second part, right? So that's where you're actually providing real, genuine value, which meets them where they're at. They're on YouTube to learn. You want to deliver on that. And then the third component is the call to action. That's clear and concise, exactly what they need to do when they click off the video to take action from your ad. So hook, educate, call to action. Those are the 3 components.
Wrong one. There you go.
Exactly. I love it. You got it ready to go. Hook, educate, call to action.
Yeah. So I do want to just emphasize the fact that you said educate, because that's what they were there for.
Exactly. What I can do is break down. So the hook, you want to pull the right people in, but also push the wrong people away. So you want to really capture the people that are interested in what you're doing. So you can highlight a problem. You can pose a question. You can outline a solution. You can invoke curiosity. You can have a bold statement. Our classic hook is YouTube ads beat Facebook ads every time. Let's face it, Facebook ad costs are going through the roof. And even when you have a great ad, they're almost impossible to scale. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use YouTube ads, like the one you're watching right now, to scale your business to 7 or even 8 figures and beyond. So
you think he's done this? You think he's done this before?
Yeah, exactly. I got it.
You're like,
exactly. I know. Yeah, I know it by heart by this point. I've said it enough times. Exactly.
But that hook is important. But what you're also saying is you want to be clear as to who you're attracting and who you want to push away immediately. That's probably why like some folks are like, if you don't want to do this isn't, then skip right now. But so part of this, there's also an understanding about when do you start paying for a YouTube ad? Like, do you pay for every single impression, every single video that goes in front of somebody?
So that's one of the things as well and it depends on the ad format now, because there's different formats. There's a video action campaigns, a little bit different than the CPV, cost per view. When you're bidding cost per view, you only pay when they're watching 30 seconds or more of that ad. So you're only paying when they're actually watching over a certain period of time, which is really valuable because they can skip at 5 seconds. And so then you're only paying if they're watching more than those 30 seconds of the ad. Exactly.
So that's critical. So that whole hook portion, you want to make sure that you disqualify people too, so that they hop off and you don't have to pay for that.
Exactly.
That ability to be able to do that. That's super powerful. You do not get that in any other ad platform.
Exactly.
Period.
Every other platform, you're paying per impression, you're paying CPMs, which is different than on YouTube, where you're paying for these qualified true views. Now, there's some where it's some inventory types where it's 10 seconds. There's some inventory types like the ones that pop up in feed or where you click it, where you're paying just, on that kind of click or somebody's on that or on an impression. But just because as they've opened up more like video action campaigns, things like that. But the classic CPV, that's the 30 seconds. There's other versions, 10 seconds. But really, the thing to understand is in many of these cases, you're not paying if it's longer than 30 seconds. So you're only paying for the people that are genuinely interested as they're actually watching that.
Yeah. Yes. That I think that's really, really important for people to understand. As soon as I understood that, I was like blown away. And then also I understood why certain people were telling me to like hit the skip button. I'm like, screw you. Oh, yeah, okay.
Exactly.
I won't charge you for my view.
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so you talked about hook, educate, call to action.
And just add in the educate. So that's the hook. So pull people in, then educate. This is where you're providing real value. What I call these are golden nuggets. Because what are golden nuggets? They're incredibly valuable, but they're also small. They're literally worth their weight in gold. They're golden nuggets, right? But they're small. And so you don't want to have an ad that's too long. You do want to make sure people take action. So you don't want to be educating them for 5-10 minutes. But if you take 1-2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes to educate them right in the middle of your ad, you're providing real, tangible value in the ad. You're giving them golden nuggets, and you're actually, really, like you said earlier, you are fulfilling where they're going for, which is the learner's mindset. People are on YouTube to learn. And if you can provide that value on that ad and give them golden nuggets, you're giving them what they're looking for. So if somebody's looking for, how to grow their business or marketing, yes, I hook them. But instead of just saying, okay, go sign up for my webinar, I'll teach you how to do it. Instead, I say, great. So now I want to show you how this works. Let me teach you. And I provide value on the ad, give them those golden nuggets. And then from there, when it comes time for the call to action, which again is very, very simple. Here's exactly what you need to do. Here's the next step. Here's all the value you're going to get. You've already given them value, so they can trust that when you say the next step, they're going to get even more value. They're going to trust you. They're going to want it. They have a taste. So now they want to dive in a little bit deeper.
You see, this is also the difference in working with somebody that is impact driven, right? Because you're thinking about that. I mean, you've proven it with the numbers, but you're not talking about constructing an ad that's just like, oh, funny and silly and razzmatazzy and you know what I mean? Like you're really saying, hey, you want to deliver impact. This is what the viewer's thinking. They're expecting some level of education, and it changes the energy around the ad as well. I mean, sure, they understand it's an advertisement, but when they're like, holy crap, that was a lot of value dropped in an ad, like what could possibly be next? So what's an optimal length for a YouTube ad?
Yes, that's a great question. So now YouTube technically recommends 3 minutes or less. And in general, I would recommend that 2.5, 3 minutes, 2-3 minutes. There are ads though that are longer. And we found that you should have your ad be as long as it needs to be without going over, in terms of you want to provide value, but you don't want to accidentally ramble or go too long. You want to be tight, but provide genuine value. So,
especially if somebody was searching for something else, and now it's like, I just spent half an hour on your ad. I didn't even get to the
exactly
video I was looking for.
Exactly. So usually I would say 3 minutes. And as part of that, I would say your hook should be 15 to 30 seconds. Your value is 1 to 2 minutes. And then you have a call to action that's about 30 seconds long. So now you have about a 3 minute, 2.5 to 3 minute long ad that is ready to go, provides actual value and actually educates them, but it doesn't go too long, because you still want people to take action. You still want to have them wanting more. And then you can lead them to a training or to a webinar where you can spend a whole hour with them. And guess what? Deliver more value on there. And then you're providing more value. And then maybe you invite them to a strategy call or straight to buy something, whatever it happens to be at the end of that webinar or that training. And then that is where you're selling them the full value. That's the full pot of gold that you're selling them, right? So you give them a few gold nuggets, you give them a few gold coins on your webinar or your training, and then you sell them the full pot of gold that they're looking for.
Yeah. Well, okay. So guys, this is only, I don't even know how many. Oh, okay. Definitely more than 20 minutes already.
Yeah. I kind of warned you at the beginning.
It's like you get into this like Aleric black hole. I don't know what happens. Like time stops. We're just like, ah. Well, I do want to offer the audience though. I'm sure like whoever's listening, listen to the episode again. Definitely take your notes, because there was a lot to learn, and I appreciate that. But you actually put together the strategy that you share with your clients. So I am a paying client, but there's a lot of detail to it. And of course, you know, my mission is to help people understand that experts are rocket fuel. Like when you want to make that significant change, like don't take the time to figure it out yourself. Okay. So this gift that Aleric is giving you, is not intended for you to go off and wait another 3 or 4 months to try it yourself. All right. Because there's a lot of stuff to do, but I appreciate that you gave so much information for our audience, because they need to understand the nuance but also the benefit that YouTube ads can have on their impact and on their scale. So this is what you guys do, you know, Rocketeers. You're gonna pull over if you're driving, you're gonna stop if you're running, you're gonna pull out your phone, and you're gonna text RF-200M. Why am I asking you to do that? Because Aleric is dropping, bam, his $200 million YouTube ad strategies. These are the strategies that have helped him build over $200 million of revenue for his clients as a result of this brilliance. Okay. And so tell me a little bit about, or tell the audience, at least the Rocketeers, what they're going to get in. Oh, actually, before you do, if you're in the US, you're going to text RF-200M for 200 million to 411321. And if you're outside of the US, you know, we do not forget you, but you can use either texting if you're in Canada or WhatsApp, and you're going to text to 1909-741-1321. And the catchword is RF-200M for 200 million. So tell us what is going on in this very heavy packet, because my printer ran out of paper when I was printing.
I know. I said you have to share that because your printer literally ran out of paper printing all the value that's in this. And this is honestly what I believe in, is just providing as much value as possible. I want to, you know, show you, here is the strategy and here is how it works. And the reason for that is I really want you to understand how powerful YouTube is and to start diving into utilizing YouTube. And so this is our $200 million YouTube ads strategy. And what it covers is it dives deeper in everything we talked about. So we talked about hook, educate, call to action, but it'll actually teach you how you can put that together. Yes. Then we have our other framework, and I'll quickly allude to it here, but you're going to learn a lot more about it inside of the document. Honestly, it's even better to dive in there. The other framework is actually a little bit bigger, but again, 3 components. It's our 3D targeting strategy, reaching the right person with the ability to invest at the right time.
Oh, yes.
With your YouTube ad. That's a 3D targeting. So you don't want to just reach the right person. And we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, right? The right person, but also make sure they have which you set up with audiences, but also make sure they have the right demographics. They have the ability to invest, household income.
Yeah.
You're layering it with reaching them at the right time when they're watching specific videos. 3D targeting. Oh, you got 3 exclamation points for 3D targeting. I love it. I love it. And that really is the secret to that $200 million in revenue, between that and our 3 components of the YouTube ads script that you're putting together. So you're essentially reaching the right people with the ability to invest at the right time with the right YouTube ad to drive those conversions, have that rocket ship type of growth that you're looking for. Now, honestly, this is the same strategy. Again, we implemented with other people. We've used this in our own business. We practice what we preach. You know, we scaled to 8 figures, landed number 60 on the Inc. 5000 list.
That is amazing. Well, tell us what percent growth out.
Yes. So, all right, 6,052% growth in the last 3 years.
That is just great. That's why it's like, okay, number 60 on the Inc. 500. Yeah, okay. That is a huge accomplishment if anybody has even looked at the criteria that's required. But then the growth, I looked at that number, I was like, what?
I know.
Say it. Over 6,000%.
Yeah, over 6,000. And it really, and again, I can't take full credit. It's a testament to our team. But it's also a testament to the strategy that I've been developing for such a long time. And I want to teach you, it's the exact same thing. YouTube ads to bring people in, omnipresent retargeting on the back end. Maybe we have to do a follow-up podcast at some point. We'll talk about omnipresent, omnipresent retargeting. I know you already have a, maybe a catchword ready for that. But I'm really excited because this is going to dive in the $200 million YouTube ad strategy. It's going to teach you exactly how this works step by step. It's 19 pages, but believe it or not, there is basically no fluff in the presentation. Obviously a little page that intros it, but we dive in. I dive into exactly how this works. And I really was thinking about, if I was outlining this whole strategy to somebody that, doesn't really know how this works, and all I could give them is a PDF, that's what I wanted to do, is put it together, provide real immense value, and we practice what we preach. The other thing, once you opt into that too, you get a bonus video training as well. So you can watch, of course, the video version. You know what I think about video. I love video. And so if you pop that back up on screen, I'll tell the listeners again.
Absolutely.
Hear it again. And multiple call to actions. We also recommend that on the YouTube ads as well. So you just go ahead, text that RF-200M. That's RF-200M to 411321, and you'll get my $200 million YouTube ad strategy PDF, extra resources as well. You'll also get emails and value and content delivered to you consistently. I'm really, really excited. And yes, outside of the US as well, RF-200M, 200M to 1909-741-1321, text or WhatsApp. And the cool thing, even outside of the US, is we actually see that ad costs are cheaper. And so you have that really, really great ability because, again, outside of the US, there's even more opportunity because people are usually a few years behind in marketing sophistication. That's not anything that's just saying marketing sophistication than they are here in the US. Now, US, it is a massive opportunity. We're in the golden era. However, I would say we're actually in the golden era in YouTube, which means right now is when everybody is starting to realize how powerful this is. A few years ago, we were in what I would call early adopter phase. We're still in early adopter phase outside of the US. In the US, we have just entered, I would say literally just this year, in 2022, we have entered into the golden era of YouTube ads. Exactly.
Yeah. But this is why it's important, by the way, to work with experts, right? Because it takes a long time to figure these things out. And you know, my listeners know I have a doctorate degree. I'm a super nerd. And I was just like, it's a lot. Sure, if I wanted to focus on this, but you have your own unique brilliance, guys. Okay. You have your unique brilliance. And if you want to extend your impact, right, deliver greater impact, I ask you to, at a minimum, text to receive the strategy, because once you start learning about it, I think it's critical actually before the process of investment for you to just be able to appreciate. Okay. It took me a couple of years from watching your omnipresent ads, right? One, for my business to get to that point, but really what it was is that I needed to appreciate why learning about YouTube ads was a priority, and that it aligns with my mission. And then secondly, it was important for me to understand that having a partner company work with me that was aligned in my mission and delivering impact would allow me to kind of stay there, versus if I was working with an agency that was just ads, and it just, you know, there's a difference. And that's why I started with asking you, you know, why people say all these wonderful things. And such. And so that is also why it was very important for me to introduce you, my Rocketeers, to Aleric Heck, not only because you need to learn about YouTube ads if you are an impact-driven entrepreneur, but if you want to learn and if you want to work on it, then this is your guy, this is your team to do it with. Now, because I know we can nerd out, we can go on forever.
And I know we could keep going, but we already said 25 to 35 minutes. I think we're almost an hour later. So.
I know. It's so obviously you're giving this gift, which is awesome, and I will drop it even one more time because I believe it's really important. Of course, I'm saying if this resonates with you, okay, if this resonates with you, take action, because my mission is to inspire you into action, not to just say, "Wow, that was a really interesting interview with Aleric. I'll wait for another interview." No. He's giving you some more than golden nuggets. Golden, what is that? Bullion?
Yeah, exactly.
Right there, right?
Yeah. Bullion.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But what is common with in the beginning? Of course, it was you doing the sales calls. Now you have teams doing sales calls.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most common hurdle, for folks when they're considering YouTube ads and just this venturing into this whole thing? What's the resistance?
So I think the resistance is that it's new and it also is video based, and it seems like it has this bigger barrier to entry, which is in some ways true because it does have the video side. However, you can be your authentic self, and I know that's something you really resonate with, Wanda. I think if you're listening to this, right, it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, what you sound like. You can be your authentic self on video. And I think that that's really the key, is to think about that and think about how you can show up and really just provide that value on video. But you don't have to be in a fancy studio, have a fancy background, fancy office, whatever it is. I mean,
I was going to ask you about that. Like, what do I need? Like, do I need to make sure I have a green screen like I have here, or you have like an amazing office view now? From the beginning, was that what it was for you?
No, you don't even need that. I remember starting out in with these YouTube ads in my college dorm room. I was filming videos there that were my YouTube ads. I started this business when I was in college, and
Wow.
and I had another business that I had before that too, that I used to pay for college, my YouTube channel. So I've been doing my YouTube channel 13 years.
He was 12 years old, guys.
Yeah. AdOutreach. Thank you. And my AdOutreach business last, coming up on 8 years. And I think that one of the big things that people think is they see fancier production. They think that's what you need. You don't need that. All you need is your iPhone, a tool called a gimbal that stabilizes it. Pick it up, hook, educate, call to action, be yourself, be the authentic authority, record your ads. It doesn't have to be this big barrier to entry. We'll learn how to target people. The PDF's a great resource for that. Other trainings and things too. And then go from there. And so I think that's where the big thing is. People are afraid that it has this extra barrier to entry, and it does. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be that big barrier. It might just be a small little hurdle you can step over, as opposed to a insurmountable wall that some people think it is.
I know that for me, I was creating a much bigger barrier in my mind. One, I mean, although it was 17 years ago, my marketing experience came from corporate. Right. Mm-hmm. So within corporate, it's like, all your videos have to be like high production or whatever. So you have this like, is this enough? What I love is that now, as more and more people are getting into YouTube advertising, you do see the folks that are just with their phone, like whether it's outside. If you don't have a good inside scenario, just pick a nice outside, like sunny, good lit day. And your phone will do an amazing thing. But you're not just about the logistics of running the ad. And that's what's wonderful. Like you and your team, and truly team, guys. When I say team, like, you will not always be, actually, you only meet with your platinum clients, right? At this point, because you have so many clients, right?
Yes. Yeah, platinum. Occasionally we'll do inner circle, but platinum's the main group that I'm meeting with, that I'm working with. Exactly.
Yeah. So the important part about that is because also a lot of our listeners are entrepreneurs, right? And so I think this side of things is also really interesting. Is that when you create an amazing system and you do a really good job of not only teaching your team, but connecting with other experts that really complement what you do, then that's how you get your 6,000+% growth, right? That's how Aleric and his team, you guys are able to serve so many people with such high value because you've done that. So the point is, you guys cover the scripting, you give tips on how to take a high production video versus like what you need basic, the whole logistics of Google ads, and actually empowering somebody on our team to do it but not just say, this is how you do it, and there you go. Like we actually have access to people on your team that could say, oh, these are the ratios you're looking for and stuff. I mean, it's amazing. And then there's just the support overall for our business. Because guess what? Once you start bringing in more people, you're going to need, different strategies and such. So I was going to ask you how you serve people, but that's kind of how I'm describing. But can you fully describe? Are there courses? Like, what are the levels of how you've supported people today?
Yeah, and the main way that I love supporting people is this done together, done with you process that we've really innovated in this space. And what I found is there was kind of this false dichotomy that was out there where people were either, selling a course, right? So individual content, you learn how to do it, kind of do it yourself. Or they were doing an agency. They're like, hey, give us everything, we'll take it all off your plate for you, which sounds good. But in reality, that you're kind of basically giving over control of your marketing and therefore your business's destiny, really, to another business that's never going to care as much as you do. And that's not to say anything about them, but they're going to have usually a rep or a junior level rep is going to have 12 different accounts, one of them being yours. So instead of having a done together process where what we're doing is we're helping you, we're working together to help you implement this into your business. We're writing script calls together. So we're actually scripting out your ad together. We're helping you launch your campaigns. We're setting them up together. We're helping you optimize and scale together. So we're coming in, we're the experts, we know how to do it, but we're also working with you. You know your business the best. You know your goals. You know who your ideal client is. We're working together to identify the right people, to set up the ads the right way, for you to be involved in that process so that we can see the best success. And I truly, truly believe that done with you, done together is the best way to work on ads and to implement this in your business.
And I personally feel that you should coin done together and not put yourself in the done with you, because the done with you segment is not necessarily done with you like the way you guys do it.
Yes.
I mean, literally every day there is somebody that is available. There is some scheduled clinic time that for us to be able to work with somebody on your team. And that's huge. So that's why I'm saying it's like in a class.
Yes. I've played around with kind of copilot strategy, but
I have to talk to you about. In corporate, I did that, but we'll talk.
All right, we'll talk offline. I like it. We'll have to,
guys. You just hopped into like coffee talk with Aleric and Wanda.
Exactly. We can talk about this kind of thing all day, which is great. And I love that we went deeper than because I get on a lot of podcasts. I do a lot of different things, and I was really looking forward to yours, and it absolutely delivered. I'm really excited. I'm excited to see this because we dove deeper than I would usually dive into. So I really appreciate that, Wanda, as well. But ultimately, I think a big message that I would share is just the power of video, the power of getting in front of the right people. And the best platform to do it is on YouTube ads, omnipresent retargeting on the back end. That is a conversation for another time, because if we start talking about that, we're going to be talking for an hour, another hour,
another
hour. Exactly. But I think that, and I can share a little bit if you have some questions around that. But
I'm going to, you know what? I want to create anticipation with our audience. Because you deserve a focused audience for that omnipresent. Like that whole strategy is like the bomb. In short, guys, once you start researching AdOutreach and Aleric, you are going to see him all over the place, and then you're going to realize, like, wow, I could be doing that too, and they're the masters. They could be helping me. So with that being said, I'm going to give you one last opportunity. If for some reason you were crazy and you didn't text this already, text RF-200 M for 200 million to 411321. Receive Aleric's $200 million YouTube ads strategy. He is laying it out in 19 pages. I want you to, in addition to that, my ask of you is just dedicate time tonight, tomorrow, half an hour here and there to read through it, scan through it, take some notes, and start really thinking about how this fits in with your impact strategy. Okay. I want you to take that moment to really think after he's given you the gift of that education. Okay. And if you're outside of US, text RF-200M to 1909-741-1321. You could use that via text or WhatsApp. Aleric, thank you so much. I was so excited for this, and it is clear why you are a hashtag Rocket Fuel.
Well, thank you so much, Wanda. This has been amazing. Thanks so much for having me on. All the Rocketeers, thank you for listening. I'm excited for you to get access to that PDF. And maybe we'll talk about Omnipresent really soon. So appreciate it.
All right, guys. To you, Aleric, and to my dear Rocketeers, I hope you have a rockin' day. Bye now. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Look, every one of our episodes is boosted by a value-packed keyword called a catchword. Yeah. This allows our audiences to text to receive even more value from our guests. So take advantage of that great value. And if you share your expertise by guesting on podcasts or TV or speaking in front of live or digital audiences, then you're leaving anonymous fans behind. So go get a catchword at catchwords.com, KETCH words.com, and use podcast20 as a promo code for 20% off your setup fee. Look, make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the Rocket Fuel podcast so you never miss your jolt of Rocket Fuel. Until